It's a great sense of excitement. I'm rarely in my office when we're conducting a trial. I'm down there with the overalls on, looking at everything that's going on, because it's really a culmination of all of your previous experiments and ideas that you're putting them to the acid test, as it were.
In the world of high fashion, wool is uniquely prized for its versatility, a fabric for all seasons and all occasions. But without constant research and innovation, wool's preeminence in the fiercely competitive textile market would soon be eclipsed. The latest breakthrough goes right back to the paddock. It's hard to imagine anything further from the glossy images of fashion than this. To produce clean, white wool for spinning, all the unwanted traces of life on the hoof have to be removed. That's done in a process called scouring, and its basics are as simple as washing a woolen jumper. The idea is to put the wool through a series of washes and rinses, and what comes out at the other end should be pure fleece, free of contamination. But with Australian wools, it's rarely that simple, as Dr. Brett Bateup from CSIRO has found.
Well, Australian wools are extremely difficult to scour by comparison with, say, New Zealand wools. Australian wools contain far more grease and far more dirt. Australian wools are much finer than New Zealand wools, and the scouring of the large quantities of grease and dirt present problems to the Australian wool scourer. Now, SIROSCOUR was specifically developed to combat those problems.
At first glance, the difference between a SIROSCOUR plant and its conventional equivalent is hard to pick. They share the same basic plumbing, and SIROSCOUR can even be incorporated into existing plants. But there is one big difference, and that's been a direct result of painstaking fundamental research. Using single wool fibres, the CSIRO team found that as well as grease, sweat salts and dirt, there were minute flakes of the sheep's skin attached to the wool. As the wool was immersed in the water, the flakes stuck fast to the fibres, becoming swollen and sticky. When large quantities of wool were scoured, that meant much of the washed out dirt in the cleaning water simply reattached itself to the sticky fibres. The researchers found that by adding soaking stages to the washing and rinsing cycles, they could float off the skin flakes, and the dirt and sweat washed out of the wool stayed out. The difference in the finished product was startling.
This is a conventionally scoured sample of wool, and you can see that the colour's pretty dingy. The dirt's still in there and a lot of grease there. This is problems for later processing. It's also felted, difficult to pull apart. Now, if we have a look at this SIROSCOUR sample, anybody can see that that's by far whiter, and there's not so much tippiness, and it's not as felted as that sample.
By making premium quality scouring available in Australia, SIROSCOUR's adding value to the wool before it's exported. That could boost the economy by at least $25 million a year. SIROSCOUR is delivering some significant side benefits too. Working under licence to CSIRO, a Melbourne company has built this full-scale SIROSCOUR line for the Danish company Bloch & Behrens. Here, the flexibility of SIROSCOUR has really been a winner. Because each wool type contains different amounts of grease, dirt and sweat, the optimum scouring conditions for each wool type also vary. Unlike conventional plants, this single SIROSCOUR installation can deliver the exact combination of cleaning cycles required for almost any type of wool, at almost the push of a button. SIROSCOUR also tackles a problem that's long been a bugbear of the scouring industry, the disposal of large quantities of effluent, the water which contains the dirt and grease washed out of the wool. The new technology reduces the costs of disposal by around 1/3, and that can mean a saving of up to $100,000 a year for the scourer. SIROSCOUR joins a long list of commercial developments by CSIRO designed to enhance wool's economic value for Australia. But for researchers like Brett Baitup, the rewards are more personal.
I really enjoy my work. It's a great challenge. To see the fruits of my years of research standing on the floor actually working is fantastic.